let's do a little blending. I have removed the painter's triangles and have just the rubber flat part because I want it to hold on to my piece very well. So it's not going to move around on me because I'm going to be working on it. I have 2 coats of the General Finishes Key West Blue Chalk Style paint, and then I will be putting, which I've already got in a glass jar, I'll be putting over top in blending Midnight Blue chalk paint from General Finishes. I've put it in a little cup here, so I'm not dipping into my original jar. And I'm going to start out using a Cleon brush, and I'll show you one method of blending. Now, to tell you some of the things that I have ready, I have other brushes dry, I have a spray bottle, I have a couple of sponges, one's dry and a couple are wet. We'll start out by just painting the edges, and then we'll blend from there. So, just get a nice showing of the Midnight Blue right now on the edges. We are going to blend toward the middle. You've seen those pieces that have the nicely blended, shaded, 2 different color blending. So that's what we're going to do right now with this piece. So just paint the outside edge. Bring it in a bit. And then we're going to lightly cover the edges here. Make sure we have enough paint to work with. And then, this is one method. Let's just wet down the paint a little bit and my brush. And we're going to bring it in. I'm going to grab some of the paint I already put out on the edges. So you have a little bit thicker on the outside, thicker paint, darker, more covered. And make sure it is covered fairly well. And then you're bringing it into the center. And now I am going to use the dry sponge, and I'm just going to wipe off a little bit. Well, let's show you this first. If you like the varied look, whoa. If you like the varied look, you could leave it like that. I prefer to have a little bit smoother look, so I'm going to wet it a little bit more. And smooth it out a little bit better. And then go back around to even up the edges where it got wet from the spray bottle. Because I mean, if you like those water dots, leave them. Be creative. Okay, this is a little bit more controlled blending, so I'll show you that. I'll show you this before I go any further. That's one method. Okay. But let's do another where we're going to have it come into the center a bit more. I think this tends to be a little bit more popular look. but really there are no rules. You do what you like. You do it till you're satisfied. So I've got my basic ready. Okay, now I am going to use my wet sponge and I'm going to clean it off a little bit more than what I had. And blend it in. And don't worry, if you overwork it, you can always repaint it. Just paint. Enjoy the process. You can always redo it. So we're going to do like a half and half type thing here. I'll show you how I do that. So we've got the dark blue on the bottom. This poor door is going to have so many layers on it. That's okay. That's what it's here for. Okay, I've got dark blue on the bottom part. And then let's do the Key West blue on the top. I'll move it up so I don't get my bench cookies all painted. This is something that I practiced at the General Finishes Expo when I went almost 2 years ago now. It was very fun to do ombre and blending and that kind of thing at their expo. I highly recommend you go if you have opportunity, because there was some really fun projects that you could be in on. Okay, almost there. Now obviously it's not going to be perfect because I have some dark blue wet paint underneath, but you're going to get the idea. Actually, it's going to be very pretty. Okay. I'm going to bring this halfway down. Okay. And then we're blending the navy up to the Key West blue. Okay, here we go. I want it to be fairly wet. It started drying because I've taken a little bit to paint it. Some people just use a dry brush. We'll do that first. And some people use a spray bottle. So we'll do both. I'll show you both methods. Okay, here is the dry brush method to fade it in to one another. See how it's picking up both colors? This is how you blend them together. It's a little tricky when you've got these varied surfaces, but you just keep working it till you get it where you want it. And once again, perfection is not your friend. Okay, there is the dry brush method. You just work it till you get it where you want it. And then I have a spray bottle that's misty. It doesn't necessarily spritz, so I'm going to hold it back, spray it, and then lightly go over it.